Hello, everybody. I hope I get someone in here this afternoon. I've had a hectic day. It's hot outside. It's too hot
So
right now.
20 years into
Uh-oh.
retirement. At this rate, it's probably going to be more like 40. Okay, no, way too long. Let's see how much you're spending. Download an app called Rocket Money. Oh, wow.
Turn this sound off. I knew I forgot to do something. There, now. We won't be interrupted. But I wanted to go live today sometime, and it's too hot for me to do much outside right now. So I decided to just go live. Oh, Paula. Hello, Paula. I'm glad you popped in. I was wondering if anybody was going to show up. I only give 15 minutes notice here. And there's Edith. Hey, Edith. How are you? I said I just will go live now because it's too hot outside to do anything. This is the hottest time of the day, and it's 94 degrees right now. So I got a lot done this morning outside. I did laundry. My laundry's hanging out to dry right now. I got to get it in later. Yep, that's right, Edith. Today is September 10th. It sure is, all day long. My nose is itching. I miss my hair, y'all. I mean, before I could just pull it back and twist it up and there it's up, and I can't do that now. I've got to at least get a scrunchie, I have to at least get one of these things to put it up, and then it looks like a pom-pom on top of my head. I wished I didn't have to cut it, but I know I had to. It was getting so long and it was pulling my hair out. And there's Jana. Hey there, Jana. How are you doing? Getting ready for your son and daughter-in-law's rehearsal dinner. We just did a wedding run through. Oh, well, how beautiful, Jana. Glad for you. I know that'll be a fun time. And there's Tamara Aimling. Yeah, it's been a hot day, and I don't know. I get out there and I do anything for about 30 minutes and I'm drenched in sweat. I went out there and pepper sprayed my okra and a few other plants today. I went around with some insecticide that someone told me about to use that was really good for ants, and I sprayed all around the edge of the house. I sprayed all inside of the house. And I'm so happy because you don't smell it. That's what I'm happy about. And my ants disappeared. And there's Paula. Hey, Paula, how are you? So I said, well, what better time to go live, just check with everybody, see what everybody's up to, and just be in here where it's cool for a little bit. Then I can get outside and finish what I started later on when it's cooled off a little bit. But we have no rain in sight, which is terrible. Janet, did you ever get the Halloween plaque that I sent to you? I mean, I know somebody got it. I don't know if you did or whoever is at your old address or what, but somebody got it. Oh, well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And I know Sandra's was delivered. I checked the tracking on it, and hers was delivered, so I hope she likes hers too. But yeah, I was getting in the habit of just getting up in the morning, brushing my hair, twisting it up on top of my head, and that's the way it stayed. But I was pulling all my hair out, y'all. So I said, I got to give my scalp a break, cut my hair a little shorter because it's in layers all the way down. And so much of it had come out from wearing it up for so long and it being so long that it's kind of thin right now. And there's Jennifer Donahue. Hello, good afternoon to you as well. Anyone been watching the news? No, I didn't catch the news. What's going on, Paula? Anything we should know about? Oh, I heard from Wilson. He said he's got a computer and whatever he needs so he'll be able to get online for the next live. I was hoping he'd get the notification for this one and join in, but he said he'd see us tomorrow night if not. Charles Kirk was killed? Well, what's going on with that? I hadn't heard anything about it. Of course, I've been so busy I haven't been watching the news, so what's going on that Charles Kirk was killed? Fill us in. Get us updated. Shot. Oh, wow. Why? Why would somebody want to shoot him? It's crazy. My nose is itching, y'all. I started sweating so bad out there that then after I get my face dried off, I start itching. Why would somebody want to shoot Charles Kirk? I don't even really know who Charles Kirk is. People are crazy. You got that right, Jennifer. He was in Utah. Huh. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about that. Have any of you getting calls that's supposed to be from your president, and it's actually Trump's voice telling you to contact them to get your free internet for senior citizens? And I haven't done anything because I figured it was just a scam. Have any of you got a call like that? Saying it was from your president? All that kind of stuff? Boy, we were up to 15 viewers and now we dropped down to 9. Yeah, it sounded fishy to me. It was Trump's voice. Active Trump supporter. But I thought to myself, why don't they just send us notifications in the mail if we get free internet? That's what I was thinking. They want you to contact them, and then the first thing they're going to ask you is for your credit card account. You been contacted, Paula? Oh, I tell you, I spent most of the day yesterday going around and round with my Amazon Prime credit card. Because y'all know I purchased a computer last month because mine is so old, it's like 9 years old. So it's so out of date I can barely do my videos on it, editing them and stuff like that. So I broke down and got another computer, and then I ended up gluing this old one back together. Yeah, or send them gift cards. Exactly, Jennifer. But I checked the balance on my Amazon Prime card, and it was way up there. And the only big thing I put on there was my computer. And I had one or two small things, like $10 and $15 charges. But the majority was for the computer, and I was trying to get it paid off. And I got it down pretty low. And I checked it, and it was up to $1,270. I said, what? So I started going down, scrolling down through the charges. And I came across this charge for $417. And it was all done on August 10th. And I got to checking more, and it showed that they tried to charge $525.77, but it didn't go through. Again, they tried to charge for the second time $417.88. It didn't go through. And they also tried to charge $633.66, and it didn't go through, thank goodness. But I did have this one charge of $417.88 that was posted to my account. And that's what put my balance way up. So I disputed the charge. You know, I went through the Sorry about that, y'all. I just about choked myself. And there's Kayla. Hey, it's been a long time since I've seen Kayla in chat. How are you doing, good friend? But anyway, you know, I went through the website where you go through and you, what is it that you file fraudulent charges for that particular charge. I did all that, and then it told me to call that phone number. So I called the credit card for Amazon Prime, right? And I asked them, I said, well, did y'all also see on your records where those other charges tried to go through, but they were declined? They weren't able to get them put through for some reason. Thank goodness, you know. But they did get the one for $417.88. And I told them I did not know what that charge was for. I did not make it. And then, you know, when I went through investigation on it, it was not going to be just a one-time charge of $417.88. But they were going to try to charge my account every month for 6 months. $417 every month for 6 months. I said, oh, no, no, no. So the first thing I had them do was close out that account. I don't want anybody charging on that account at all. They opened me a new account and they're sending me a new card, but they did give me the new number already. And I said, y'all need to get on the ball, because I said I did not make any, you know, that $417 charge. And I definitely wouldn't have made all the other ones that they attempted to make and it didn't go through. But they did them all on the same day, which is very suspicious, you know. Anybody looking at that would know that that's fraudulent charges. You know, it's not something I did. And I don't know if it'll up on any of your statements for your credit cards, or if you have a an Amazon Prime card. But the name on the charges was Pamela-PQ. I have no idea who that is or what it is, you know. But anyway, you know, I was about to pull my hair out last night because I went round and round with them. I made several phone calls. I got on the website checking out everything I could. I wrote down all this information because when they closed my account, everything disappeared. And they said, well, it'll be back as soon as you like generate another statement for the month or something. But I said, yeah, but I said, will the old charges show up? I said, that's what I'm interested in. But really, I don't need to see the old ones, but I do need the $417.88 taken off of my account. I need that reimbursed real quick. But they said it could take up to 60 days, I think, to dispute the charges and you know, get it all straightened out. Do you buy any of your gardenings? Yes, I do. That's one reason I ended up getting the Prime card, so I would get free shipping. You know, if you have Amazon Prime, which they do send you their card, you get free shipping on everything. So since I was ordering cat food, stuff for the garden, and that type of thing, I said I don't want to pay the shipping fees. But I told them, I said, you know, if that was to continue, I would end up canceling my card completely and not even having an Amazon card. But then they said you'd be charged other fees. I said, yeah, but I said I'd pay for shipping rather than have somebody charge my account for $417 a pop. and going to try to get that every single month for 6 months, you know. But hopefully I'll get it back. I mean, because it was a third-party charge, they said. You know, it wasn't done in Amazon. It was done somewhere else. It was a third-party charge. I don't know about the third-party charges, but y'all be careful if you order anything from Amazon, especially if you have an Amazon Prime card. I told him, I said, I almost had a heart attack when I saw that, because I knew I didn't charge $417 on my card. I was trying my best to get it paid off, to pay off my computer that I just bought. You know, and with the extended warranty on the computer, plus the computer, it comes over $700. So I was trying to get that paid off, and, you know, I got it about half paid off. And then all of a sudden, a $417 charge on there. I said, no, that's not going to work. Do you know that you can set up a way for us to buy through you and you earn a commission? I would be interested in your gardening ways, hello, and you would earn commission on products that I buy. I know there's somehow they do that. I don't know how. But, you know, I have companies that have been sending me free items, you know, like the meat grinder, the induction cooktop, and what else was it they sent me? There was something else, and I forgot what it is. But, you know, they give me links for people, you know, that I post in the videos. And that way, if you buy and you go through my link to buy whatever that item is, and use my code Linda Hauser, which is my name, then I get a real small commission, and you get a good discount off of the item you buy. I know there was several people that had sent me messages saying, "Oh, I just ordered I bought one of the induction cooktops from Amazon. You made it look so easy." And there was somebody that never usually even comes into a live. And I said, well, I hope you use my link to purchase it so you got a discount. And they never replied, so I don't know if they used the link or not. But the hummingbird feeders that was sent to me, they just wanted me to do a video and a short, and that was it. And I got the hummingbird feeders for free. But they didn't send me a link, you know, with a discount or anything. But the induction cooktop and the meat grinder, they did. You know, and that's below in the description of those videos if anybody's interested in that. And there's Gladys. Hey, Gladys. Gladys, I heard from Wilson. He'll be in the live tomorrow night if I go live. I wasn't kind of decided that I was going to go live tomorrow night, but I may do it just because Wilson was going to show up. He said he got him another laptop of some type and got things worked out to where he'd be able to get online and he'd be able to get on the live. So he says, I'll be back. Tell everybody I'll be back. I don't know if any of you have been watching the shorts that I've been posting about the house build right behind my house back here. You know, right off my right behind my garden. I mean, their yard is like 10 feet from my garden. But they'll have a privacy fence up, so. But that house, I can't believe how fast they're building it. They've already got the little break, you know, they got the wrap on. They got another like not sheetrock, plywood on it. And now they've got the slats that go up and down that they nail the siding to, or attach the siding to the house. So I'm not sure what kind of siding they're going to put on the outside. Don't know what color it'll be. Yeah, they'll put up a fence, Gladys. That's a given. It's just that we've been having a roundabout, tried to come back on my side, and they wanted to move my garden back in my yard and put the fence up through there. And I said, no, you can't do that. I said, that's my yard. That's my property. You're not putting your fence on my property. They said, no, that's their property line. I said, no, it's not. I said, the water line is the property line. And I said, when you put a fence down, you got to be on your side of the water line, not over here up on my side. I said, you'd be taking 5 feet of my property, because the easement's 5 feet for my side, 5 feet for his, which makes it a 10-foot easement between the backs of the lots. So the water company has access to the water lines and everything back there, the water meters and that type of thing. And I know the other people, that other builder that enclosed the easement behind their property and took 5 foot of the other person's property, they're going to have to move it. Because to my understanding, they're probably getting fined for doing that. And they'll have to move it back. Well, I'm glad you're watching too, Caleb. I figured maybe some people that haven't been able to make the night lives that we had would be able to get into this one this afternoon. And I'm so glad I went live. Yeah, I look terrible right now, Gladys. I've been out working in the yard. I got real hot and sweaty, so you see I'm kind of pale looking. But that's the way I do when I start getting real hot. So I have to come inside and cool off. And I had to come in 2 or 3 times already this morning, or during the day, because I've sprayed with pepper spray. You know, so my plants, that the bugs were eating them up. And then I sprayed with insect spray around the outside of the house. And I did spray inside the house too. And it looks like it's going to work pretty good. Well, you know, I'll probably never even know who they are. Because the people that bought the first one back here, I don't know who they are. They're family to these other Mexicans that live around here. And I'm sure whoever buys the house they're building now is probably going to be part of that same family. And they really want my 3 lots, because they could put 3 houses up here. And they'd have all their family on one block. But that's not going to happen. My house ain't for sale. I'm living here. Where am I going? I have nowhere to go, so I'm staying right here. Caleb said, please pray for him. He's got family problems. We'll certainly do that, Caleb. Everybody remember Caleb in prayer. He needs prayer. Family problems. And I'm so happy that Jana is working on her, what is it, her daughter's wedding's coming up? That's what she's been working on. Jennifer, thank you so much for that super chat. Bless you. Thanks for all your gardening tips. Planted carrots, lettuce, broccoli this past weekend. You know, I noticed today when I was out spraying, my lettuce has popped up out of the ground. I got little bitty green sprouts popped up in those 2 sections where I planted lettuce. I said, oh yeah, I'll get me some lettuce before freezing weather. Oh, you just got a green stalk, 40% off. I'm so happy for you, Tamra. I got to move mine. I'm leaving it where it's at because I don't want to break the plants trying to move it, because I have to take it apart to move it. But as soon as those plants die, I'm not going to replant in that pot or in the green stalk tower until I move it, because it gets too much sun where it's at and the plants just burn up. Well, you're welcome, Caleb. We love you. We'll definitely pray for you. As long as you have your place. Yeah, I mean, this is my house. One of the Mexicans I heard say, not this group, but some of them that moved into this area, they say they didn't know why I wanted to live in an all Mexican community. Well, you don't realize there's a handful of Mexicans that have moved in, but this is not an all Mexican community by a long shot. It's all like, even now with a lot of Mexicans moving in, we probably still got 80-90% pure white people like me. So they got a ways to go before they can turn it into an all Mexican community. So, and the people that lives across the street that are renting Randa and Gerald's house, you know, that young couple that moved here, bought the house. They only lived there a year and then they had to move because of his job. And they rent this little house out. Well, their mother has been coming down off and on. And she wants to live here somewhere. And she'd probably love to have my place because it's right across the street. That is, if they buy that. I don't know if Randa and Gerald would sell the house at this point. I mean, they might if they could get enough out of it. I have no idea. And there's Anthony. I'm doing great. I had to come in and cool off. It's too hot to work in the yard right now. This is the hottest time of the day, so I had to come in and cool off. So I decided to go live. How are you doing, Anthony? And we got Tamara Douglas in the house. Yeah, I'm live. I'm still breathing. Yeah, Kayla has asked everybody to pray for. Got family problems, so yeah, we all need to remember Caleb in prayer. You're fixing to head to Walmart. What you gonna get at Walmart? Something good? And there's Joshua. How's Joshua? I had so many people contacting me because I haven't been live in what, a week now. They're contacting me, but they miss me. They want me to go live. Oh no, you broke your TV, Anthony. Couldn't you get it on the station you wanted or what? Did you do your TV like you do your coffee pots? If it doesn't perform the way you want it, did you break it? Is that why you got to get a new one? You broke yours today. I was moving and dropped it. Oh my goodness. Was it one of the big screens? No, I haven't. I messaged her because the last message I got from her, it's kind of like it was when she was in the last live. She asked for prayer. And I apologize. I told her I was so sorry what she's having to go through right now, that everybody would be praying for her. So, but she's in hospice at home, she said. So I'm hoping she'll end up maybe popping in here today, or maybe tomorrow night if I go live, maybe she'll show up. I wouldn't doubt it, Joshua. All that kind of stuff, the lighting, parades, all that kind of stuff that they do, it costs a lot of money. An 85-inch TV, are you trying to move it by yourself? I would not even attempt to move an 85-inch TV by myself. 85 inches, that would take up my whole wall. I don't even know if my wall is 85 inches. But now I want a 95-inch. Oh my God. I don't know how, I've never measured my wall, but if I put an 85-inch big screen up, it would cover my whole window on that wall. The only wall I could put it on, it would cover the wall. Unless I put it on the wall that's in between rooms. And then I don't know how I would rearrange my furniture to accommodate it. Because that's the only place it would go without covering up a window. My son has a great big TV. I hardly ever even turn my TV on because I'm usually sitting here with the computer watching whatever I want to watch on the computer. I even watch my movies on the computer. They're not high for 95-inch TV. Wow. Well, I know the prices have come down on all of that stuff. I mean, I can get a little 32-inch for practically nothing like I've got now, and I bought mine at a Black Friday sale years ago. But it still works fine, so I'm keeping it. You got 85 subscribers. Well, you go, Joshua. The one you're looking at is $890. Wow. Yeah, but compared to what they used to cost, that's cheap. You know, those 85 and 95-inch TVs were probably 3 times that much not too many years ago. Yeah, I don't know where I don't have anywhere to put something that big. Yes, it is. I paid $1,600 for the 85-inch. Yeah, see there? And there's Tommy. Hello, Tommy. How are you doing today? Yeah, I get the good out of everything I buy, Jennifer. I'll not get another TV until that one quits working. I missed a good live stream last night. What was I doing last night? Oh, I was going round and round with the credit card company. I spend most of the evening on the phone or on the website or both. Oh, I tell you, I didn't get to bed till probably 3 o'clock this morning. I was so wound up over all of it. Joshua said, I did a short on the Disney Starlight Parade. Well, good for you. There's comments on my end about it. There's a lady who says she loves the music. Well, good for you. Well, good, Tommy. Curious, what are YouTube hype points? Do they benefit you when we click on them? Huh, I don't know. I don't know what a hype point is. I don't think I've ever heard of it. Where do you click on a hype point at? I have no idea. Jennifer said, yeah, I don't know what they are either, Linda, but I hyped Linda's last video. Well, thank you. I mean, I'm sure it's probably not going to hurt. It's probably like giving it a thumbs up or something. I don't know. I've not noticed that because I don't watch my own videos once I publish them. So I probably have never even seen that. When your videos are playing. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll have to go watch somebody else's video to see where there's a hype point shows up, because I don't think I've ever seen that. It's while the videos are playing. Huh. Anthony said my unlimited card has 12,890 used on it, and I didn't do it, so I argued. Oh my gosh. I would definitely die, Anthony, if somebody charged that much on a card of mine. I would die. Well, I'd definitely file a dispute on all those fraudulent charges. Was it one big charge or lots of charges? I don't know. I've just been out of it, Gladys, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's the heat here in Texas getting to my brain. I was getting discouraged with YouTube for one, because every time I'd go live, it seemed like they dropped the pay every time. The more I go live, the more I did videos, the less they were wanting to pay me. Now the pay's back up, but I'm anxious to see if it's going to drop since I went live today. Yes, it does, Joshua. Yeah, I try to check my accounts every day too, but this Amazon Prime card, I have the hardest time signing into it. It never will take my password or my username, and I always have to go through their chat to get them to sign me in to even make a payment. So I don't usually do it until I go to make a payment. So I didn't check all the charges that showed up for last month. And it was August 10th is when all those charges were trying to go through. And the only one that went through was the $417.88. But it was supposed to be 6 equal monthly payments. So they planned on charging me that every month for 6 months. And I said, I don't think so. And when I called them, I told them, I said, I want my card canceled. I said, I don't want these people to be able to charge. I said, they're going to try to charge me $417 every month for 6 more months, and I don't even know what that's for. I said, they're stealing money. And they said, well, you mean you want it so that they can't charge you anymore on your account? I said, yes, ma'am. That's exactly what I'm saying. And I filed a dispute on that charge. And they closed my account, issued me a new card. I haven't got the card yet, but it's on the way. But they did give me the number. So I can access the app and find out what's going on with it right now. Even though I can't see the charges for the old card yet, anyway. Well, thank you, Caleb, but I cut 10 inches off of it. I got so aggravated with it. It was so long and it was pulling my hair out. It was heavy and I had to wear it tied up on my head all the time. I mean, I liked wearing it up, but I was getting spoiled with doing it. Every day I get up, first thing I do is put my hair up, and it'd stay up all day. And then when I took it down, I was taking out handfuls of hair. And I said, well, I got to stop that. I'll be bald-headed. Oh, I was on the verge of it, Anthony. They could tell that I was very upset. I said, you better believe I don't want them to be able to charge any more on my account. I don't even know who this Pamela PQ is. And every one of the charges that they tried to put through was Pamela PQ. I'll have to look that up on the internet, I guess, and see what comes up when I put in Pamela-PQ. Because I have no idea. And the only thing Amazon could tell me was it was a third-party charge. And they couldn't tell me even what it was for. I said, well, it was not my charge. None of those that they tried to get put through on the 10th were mine. Thank you, Kaylin. Oh, and then I turned around and got a call from the electric company today telling me I needed to take care of my account, that I hadn't paid my bill. I like to die, y'all. Because I paid it the 27th of last month. I always try to pay it like a week ahead. And I went in there and I dug out my my statement where I paid it on the 27th. I wrote it all down. I printed out the little statement that the website generates for you, showing you that's how much you paid. And I never read it, all of that little statement that I printed. I just stapled it to the bill and filed it away. Well, when I got that call, I went in there and dug up my statement. And you know that little printout thing that you print out to show that you paid your monthly bill, it had declined written in there. I said, oh my God, I didn't see that. So I had to call him. I said, look, I paid that last month, or I tried to. And I said, I never noticed on the paper that I printed out that it was declined, and I don't understand why they would decline my debit card. Well, come to find out, somehow they tried to put the charges through on a different card that I had in there. I had my debit card and this other card. And I thought, sure, I went in there and specified, to my debit card, the current one, and not the other one. But somehow the charge tried to go through on the old account. And of course it didn't take it. And I checked my bank website and that charge did not go through to my bank account. So when I called them, I said, look, I thought I made it the 27th of last month. And I said, I never read that little printout that I printed out and stapled to the bill. And I said, it does say decline. So I said, somehow the website tried to charge the wrong account for the payment. And she checked, and that's exactly what it was. So I told her to go ahead and delete out that other account because it was not good anyway. It was not an account that was active anymore. And I said, maybe this won't happen again. It'll have to go to the debit card. So I've had an exciting 2 days, y'all. Heavy rains and floods in Pakistan. We need rain here desperately, Caleb. But I'm sorry it's flooding where you're at. I hope all your family and friends are okay. I mean, heavy rains and floods can be devastating. They do a lot of damage. All right, Anthony. If we're still on, you can tell me all about that new TV you bought. Do you like the color blue, Linda? The sky's blue. My eyes are blue, Joshua. People used to tell me when I was growing up that I had blueberry eyes. Because if you get a blueberry, especially like when you pick one in North Carolina off the bush, it's got like a powdery look on the outside of the blueberry. And if you clean it all off, it's a dark, dark blue. But with that powdery looking stuff on the outside, it's a really pretty light blue. And your eyes almost like glow. And not really glow. I don't know how to explain it. But your eyes really show up in the daylight. So I guess I do like the color blue, Joshua. My eyes are blue. Your friends and family are okay, but many people are. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, there's so many different areas of this world that's had such really bad floods here lately. Yeah, I got to think about getting out there and putting some compost tea to my plants because it's been really hot since my watering day. I usually try to put compost tea to my plants like Wednesday night or Wednesday evening or either Thursday evening because they're starting to wilt down a little bit and we have no rain. Well, I didn't expect you to know what color my eyes were, Joshua. Did any of you in chat see my video that I posted this morning? The one on pickled watermelon? I mean, it wasn't in the title, but that's what it was. It was pickled watermelon rind. Oh my God, that stuff is so good. I'll definitely be making more of it because anytime I get a watermelon from now on, I'm going to be either pickling the rind of it or I'm going to turn it into candy, watermelon candy. I didn't have enough of it to do the candy this time, but I pickled. I had 2 little jars like this one out of that little bitty watermelon that I had out of the garden. I ended up canning 2 little jars and that's both jars together is only a half a pint, but it is good. Oh my God, it's good, and it's expensive if you try to buy it. I like blue. But with the cinnamon and the sugar and all, the different spices that goes into this, it's not like a regular pickle. And it's so good. Oh my God. But it's a condiment that you put on the side of a dish. I mean, it would go great with fish, anything that you'd serve, like a pickle relish or anything with. I mean, it'd go good with anything because it's almost like eating a dessert. And there's Pam. Hello, Pam. You just heard about it. Yeah, we need to do that. But that's the first time I've ever tried to do that. And I wanted to show you my fermented vegetables. Look at that. I've tried to ferment vegetables for a long time over the years. And always before, I would end up with either like white mold in there, which is not bad because you know the white mold is okay. But sometimes I'd get black mold. But the key I found to fermenting vegetables like this, and it's so simple to do, is get a plastic container with a plastic lid. I mean, a jar is great, a glass jar, but then it's got that metal top, the metal lid, and the metal is not good for fermenting. You need plastic. And you know what this is? This is a mayonnaise jar, a mayo jar, y'all. So from now on, I'm going to be saving my mayo jars, salad dressing jars, to do fermenting of vegetables in. Because it's turned out so good. And it was done the 18th of last month is when I did the video on that. And I've tasted them. They're pretty good. But fermented vegetables are good for your gut. you know, you watch these videos of people like in Vietnam and where are these other places, but like Vietnam people and stuff. They do a lot of fermenting of vegetables. You'll see when because they have no refrigeration, so they ferment stuff. And they eat like crazy, but they stay thin. You know, they don't get fat like we do. I guess all the Americans in the United States eat too many hamburgers and fries and fast food. They don't have that much fast food out where a lot of these people live, and no refrigeration, so they end up having to ferment their food. But fermented vegetables are really good for you. Yeah, so Jennifer, if you've ever tried to ferment vegetables and you've had a hard time with it, don't do it in a glass jar with a metal lid. Do it in plastic. Even if you have to do like I do, save your mayo or salad dressing jars. They're fantastic to do this in. I mean, you can always, what I did was I'd loosen the lid every day to let a little bit of the gas out, and then just close it up again. And then too, like the first couple of days that you ferment stuff, put a saucer or a bowl that you can put this jar in, because when it first starts fermenting, it's going to emit gases, and it's going to cause liquid to come out of your top, and it'll run down your jar and get on your counter or wherever you got this jar. So for the first 3 or 4 days, you need it sitting on something until it quits doing that. And then you can just every once in a while, every day or so, you know, just loosen the top until you finally get it fermented to the point you want it, and then put it in the refrigerator or just eat it. Yeah, I wanted to share that with you because I always had so much trouble with my fermenting before. I mean, sometimes it was okay and sometimes it wouldn't be. But this one turned out perfect this time. But it's because of the plastic. So, that's what I wanted to say about that. Okay, Caleb, have a good sleep. Because it's probably nighttime where you're at. In the middle of the night. You stay safe too, Caleb. And we'll see you next time. And there's Donna Placetia. Hello. A happy birthday on the 5th. Well, happy birthday. Donna. Well, that was only 5 days ago. We can sing happy birthday to you anyway. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Donna. Happy birthday to you and many more. That wasn't the best time I've ever sang happy birthday, but oh well. It'll do for the spur of the moment. Yeah, how many of you in the live chat right now have ever tried fermenting vegetables? Have any of you tried doing that? It's 2:40 in Pakistan. Good night, all friends. You mean 2:40 in the morning, Caleb? That would be 2:40 a.m. I would think. Good night, Caleb. Sweet dreams. Don't let the bed bugs bite. See you next time. Yeah, I've done sauerkraut, but I had a hard time because I lost one quart jar of it because of the mold and the metal jar lids that was on the glass jar. The other jar was fine, so I got 1 out of 2 quarts that I was able to salvage. But I know now what it is. It's because I didn't use plastic. Plastic lids, plastic jars is ideal for fermentation. You don't want metal at all, not even the lid. You got to learn to grow them first, Jennifer. Well, I've got so many composting in place and planting videos. I mean, back 3 years of them. You need to go back and watch some of them. And I try to tell off and on, how to do the pots and everything to fix your soil for composting in place and planting your stuff. They're kind of like a soury. Well, you know how sauerkraut is, right, Tamara? They kind of taste like sauerkraut, only it's a different vegetable, so it has a little bit of a different taste. Because you ferment just like you make sauerkraut. All sauerkraut is fermented cabbage. I need to start eating some of that jar. And there's Linda Foster. Hello, Linda. How are you doing? You been watching them? Yeah, that's how I built all the soil in all of my pots and totes that's in my yard. Even in my raised beds, I did the composting in place. I put the broken down wood in the bottom. I put leaves down. I put food scraps, anything that would not draw a lot of ants. You don't want ants coming into your raised bed or your pots that you're going to plant your vegetables in. So when you put anything in your pots or your raised bed that you're going to plant in right away, make sure it's not anything that's going to attract ants. Anything else is fine. Now, if you're doing composting in a compost pile, put anything, any kind of food scrap in there. You don't care if the ants go to it or not, because you're not going to use it for a while. By the time you get ready to use it, the ants are going to be gone anyway. Caleb, he wants to sleep, but his love is stopping him. I'm sorry if I keep you awake, Caleb. Yeah, that's what everybody's been telling me, Linda. I hadn't heard anything about it because I've not been on the news. I'm going to have to do some checking on that and see what's going on with it. I don't know why anybody would want to shoot him. They said he was shot. And I started using Himalayan salt in my fermenting vegetables instead of just regular table salt. I mean, I don't think it matters for the salt. You can use any kind of salt. Because I use regular salt, iodized salt, when I did my sauerkraut before, and it always turned out fine. Except for losing that one jar that got the mold in it from the lid or something. I don't know. But I like the Himalayan salt in my fermentation jars, and I like using my plastic. I'll do that from now on. You need to get some sleep, Caleb. I'm sure you'll have to go to work when you get up in the morning, in your morning. And if it's 2:40 a.m. there now, you don't have a whole lot of time to sleep. Drinking lemonade, y'all. Yeah, I was hoping Ann would come in. I haven't seen her pop in, though. I don't know what she's doing today, but I know she said she was in hospice, but it was at home. So evidently they come by to stay with her or come by to check on her during the day and different stuff, I guess. Because I told her it was good that she was at home. She gets to spend the time with her family. Oh, really? It's got 4 songs? I wouldn't have known that. I think you can make watermelon rind preserves like you spread on toast or biscuits. Probably, but I've got not a sugar, but a candy recipe that I saw for watermelon rind. And you cut it in like little sticks about the size of a cinnamon stick. And you cook them like that. And then when you take them out of the syrup that you're cooking them in, you roll them in sugar. And they have all that granulated sugar on the outside of them. And it's a stick of candy, watermelon candy. That looks like it would be good, but I said, I don't know if I need to be eating all that sugar. Yeah, like a watermelon preserve or watermelon rind jam. I could see where you could probably make that. I mean, heck, I made pepper jam, pepper jelly. Jennifer's just coming home from work. Got to feed the dogs and cats. Have a good night, Linda. Catch you. Okay, Jennifer. You have a blessed evening today, or this evening. See you next time. Yeah, I'm going to experiment with that. But I only have that little bitty watermelon, that come out of my garden, that come up from that volunteer watermelon plant under the strawberry raised bed. But it produced 2 little watermelons. But that's all the watermelon rind I got out of it. And when it was cooked, I only got those 2 little jars of pickled watermelon rind, but it's so good. I know if I open one of the jars, I'm going to eat the whole thing. And I can imagine I did make, last year I made watermelon rind jam. And it was really good. You put it on toast. Because I gave my son a couple of jars, and I gave his stepdaughter and her husband several jars of it. And I gave them some of the pepper jelly and the cowboy candy relish and all that good stuff. I boxed up 2 separate boxes of each one of all of it. And I gave it to them with their Christmas presents last year. I haven't made any cowboy candy this year because I don't have that many hot peppers. And I don't really have that many bell peppers yet. When the weather cools off, the pepper plants might start producing even more. And maybe by the end of the summer, I'll have a lot of peppers that I can do something with. I've got a bowl, like a small bowl full of peppers now. Take this up here. I mean, these, they're bell peppers. I've got green ones. I've got orange. I've got yellow. I've got red. I mean, some of them are kind of little, but You know, I don't need great big ones. I'm not going to stuff them. I mean, I could stuff these and they'd still be good. But they turned out pretty good. You know, I planted all the different colors. Orange, red, green, yellow. And I got this bowl. And there's still some out there that I could probably pick, but I'm waiting and letting them turn their color. Because, you know, all of them start out green. And when I notice that they start turning, I don't pick them until they turn their color. Well, I have to say that I did, because, see, that one was starting to turn, and I picked it. The devil made me do it. But if I'd have left it out there, it would have been orange or yellow. I don't know which. It could have went either way. But they start out green. And then they'll change. They'll turn whatever color they were supposed to be. Here's another one that I picked too soon. Part of it's still green. Doesn't that look weird? A two-tone bell pepper. But yeah, if you plant all the different colors, you got to give them a chance to turn, or you're going to end up with all green peppers, because you're not going to give them a chance to stay on the plant until they turn whatever color they're supposed to be. Now I got to come up with some recipes to use those, or either freeze some of them. I had been putting bags of peppers in the freezer, because it's real easy to freeze, and you can just slice them, you know, take the seeds out and cut them in like quarters or whatever, and just throw them in a plastic freezer bag and freeze them. I mean, when you take them out, you're not going to want to put them in a salad, not a fresh salad, but you can take them out at that point and put them in soups or any other recipe that calls for bell pepper, you know, where you cook them. Oh, my nose itches. And I've got several little bags of cherry and grape tomatoes in the freezer. I don't know, Joshua. I don't know what Tamara knows. Oh, y'all, we've been on for an hour already. Yeah, that's right, Gladys. Stuffed peppers with chopped meat and yellow rice. Usually I cook ground beef with onions and all kind of spices and rice and different things, and then stuff my peppers with them, and they're pretty good that way. I don't think I've ever tried the yellow rice to stuff them with, but that sounds like it would be even better. In fact, I think I've got a package of yellow rice now. I don't know if I've cooked that last package I had. That's an idea. I could take some of them and make stuffed peppers with yellow rice and meat in them. How do I do the waltz, Linda? If you know how that's done. Well, I can probably do it, but it'd be hard to tell you how. I've always known that when you do the waltz, you kind of dance in a square. Like you take a step to the left, bring your other foot over, and then take a step to the front, bring your other foot up, take a step to the right, bring your other foot over, take a step back, bring your other foot, put it together, and then continue on and take another step to the left. That's the only way I know how to do the waltz. Why is my nose itching? Oh, I feel like I got feathers on the end of my nose. Does anybody else have a better way to describe to do the waltz? for Joshua other than the way I just did. You know, when I went over to my son's, I took that Dolly Parton cake over there, and I was going to take him some of that cowboy casserole, because I put a big, like 2 servings of it in a airlock bag, or what do you call it? Oh yeah, where you seal it with the air pulled out of your baggy thing. I put some of it in that, and I intended on taking that to his house, and I forgot all about it. I wanted him to try it and see what he thought of cowboy casserole. Joshua said, I think it is a 3-step music. I don't know. Cowboy dancing is 2-step. I don't know what 3-step is. But then, you know, I may not have been told right on how to do the waltz, because I don't know. Like me, I got into belly dancing classes, and I love to dance, but my back injury and my neck injury was not cooperating with me, because there's a lot of control that you need to do belly dancing. And a lot of that control was taken away from me with my injuries. So I come up with my own movement sometimes. Okay, Gladys, you have a good evening, good afternoon. See you next time. Oh, your best friend called and you had... Well, that's okay, Tamara. You need to chat with your best friend. I don't know, Joshua. I don't know anything about the steps to the waltz. All I know is they kind of go around in a square. Well, that's kind of the basic pattern. I mean, I guess you vary from that as you go, but I don't know. The only dance classes I ever took was belly dancing. And it was fun. Some exercise. Tamara might know, Joshua. I have no idea. Tamara very well know. I don't know. I haven't seen her respond to your question, so I don't know if she knows or not, Joshua. Yeah, I don't mind new neighbors moving in around the community, but the only thing I don't like about them being that close is they can't sit in their backyard, or I can't be in my backyard, or my other neighbors can't be in their yard and talk without me hearing every word they say. And if I'm in my yard talking, they're going to hear everything I say. Because you don't have that much space between you, you know. That's one reason my daughter wanted to move out of Watauga where she lived, because that's how close their homes were. There was only 5 feet between the side of their house and the fence, and then 5 feet from the fence to the other person's house. And when you're in your backyard, even though you're within your privacy fence, you heard every word, you know. Your neighbor was in their backyard and you could hear their whole conversation just like they were sitting with you. It's just real close. I mean, I guess if it's all family, it don't matter. But when it's different people and you don't know them, it's kind of interesting to hear their conversations, I guess. Yeah, it's 3/4 music time, but he's talking about the dance steps. I was trying to explain to him what little bit I know about the dance step to the waltz. But I think he was thinking about the music, not the dance itself. Two-step, that's what cowboys do. That is the most popular dance in Texas, Joshua, is two-step. I learned the two-step when I first moved to Texas. I started going out to the club about once a week with friends after I got divorced because they'd tell me to come on out, don't stay at home by yourself. I mean, I didn't drink or anything, but I did love to dance. And some of the cowboys taught me how to two-step. It's fun. But you go to any of these dance clubs or bars with dance floors, that's what you're going to see these cowboys doing. They're going to be two-stepping. I mean, that's the only dance in Texas is two-step. Well, just about any of the country music you can two-step to. If it's too fast, it's kind of difficult because you'll be racing around the dance floor. But if it's kind of a semi-fast or kind of a slower type music, you two-step pretty good to it. It's kind of similar to a waltz. A two-step, I mean, that's about the only thing I could probably compare it to, is the two-step is kind of similar to the waltz. Because you're dancing holding on to your partner, and sometimes they're swirling around and doing all kind of different stuff. But there is a certain step to it, and everybody does it. You'll have to look up Texas two-step, Joshua. Find out more about it. I've never done the three-step part music. Well, I don't know that I have either. I've never heard of three-step. But she said 3/4 music time. Boot, scoot, and boogie. That's what the two-step is, Linda. That's your boot, scoot, and boogie music. Or you're dancing. Yeah, you go out to the clubs here at night to go dancing or, drink beer with your friends. Everybody's going to be in blue jeans, cowboy belts, cowboy hats, cowboy shirts, cowboy boots, and they're going to be two-stepping. Yep, and that's what they call it, boot, scoot, and boogie. Well, we've been on here for, let's see, almost an hour and a half, y'all. We've probably been on here long enough. But I wanted to see what everybody was up to and just check in with everybody. Yeah, the two-step is a real fun dance. I mean, it really is. I mean, that's about all they play in these clubs around here is country music. I mean, they play some of the other stuff, but a lot of it is country stuff that they two-step to. I didn't know the Starlight Parade, different styles of music, floats, all princess and prince come. That's how I know it is the waltz. Oh, okay. Well, see, now you got something to check on, Joshua. Look up the Texas two-step. If you want to listen to two-step music, listen to the music from the movie Urban Cowboy. Yeah, you could do that, I guess. Just listen to just about any type of cowboy music, country music, Texas style music. It's been a long time since I've been out dancing. Well, it was way before my cancer scare, and that's been, what, 20 years ago. I don't go out anymore, not even for fun like that. All right, you people. I think I'm going to let you go. I got other things I got to do. I got garlic to plant this afternoon as soon as it cools off. I got to be separating me some garlic so I can get that done. So, I sure enjoyed chit-chatting with everybody. I'm glad everybody could pop in for a little bit. Love each and every one of you. And I'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day and a blessed night. Thank you, Tamara. Tamara Aimling, Douglas, Linda Foster, Joshua, everybody that came into chat today. Jana, I think Jana disappeared. She's busy with that wedding planning, I guess. Good to see you, Donna. Y'all have a blessed afternoon and blessed night tonight, and I'll see you next time. Love y'all. Bye now.